Good evening, this is Pine Leaf Needles, and welcome to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And tonight, we have, in addition to a very finicky connection, is... we have Draculetta from Transylvania,
Greetings, everyone.
Ethelrose from Wales,
It's a terrible place, don't go there.
Lilykate from Rome,
Hello, everybody.
the Mysterious Mystery from Queensland,
Hey there.
and Andang from wherever Andang's from.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
No, it's not. I'm the mystery.
No, it's I'm definitely the mystery.
Very
Remember, we
well.
established we're the same person on LOTRO Academy several episodes ago.
Well, we actually did that, yes, okay. He can be a mystery too.
Yes.
In addition to that, we have a special guest tonight. We have Whiteberry from Denmark. Please welcome Whiteberry.
Thank you, and hello.
Hello.
Very well. Whiteberry, how did you get involved in LOTRO and our community? Could you tell us about yourself?
Well, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here today. And a bit about myself in connection with LOTRO. Then I have always loved Tolkien's work, like many other players. And I joined LOTRO when it was launched on the old European servers. And at that time, I was actually not that involved in the community in Codemasters time. But yeah, I think I had my hands full with my kinship and playing the game. But the European migration to the US servers, it forced me to sort of sign up on the forums and follow a bit what was going on. And I remember one of my first posts on the forum was after doing an in-game video with the shadows and the shades. Based on the story of Biren and Luthien. I had to make 5 posts minimum before being allowed to post a video on the forums. So no, I didn't have a lot of posts at that time. I guess that was the initial step in getting involved, because we got a lot of really nice feedback on the video, and I think I discovered how rewarding the community can be. And I think at that point I had also started making my completionist tracker for my own use. And eventually I added it to LOTRO interface for others, and started doing other things like maps and cosmetics, and I think I just felt the need to put it all on a website at some point too, because others were asking for it, and so Tales of Ada happened on my website. And since then I have sort of worked on it, because I think it's fun, and I like to get it to work, like making the galleries and such. And I think a few weeks ago Braxwolf compared the cosmetic system in LOTRO to dress-up dolls. And I think that's very fitting, because it is a bit like playing with dolls, what I do on my website as well. So yeah, I guess many call it a blog, but I don't actually blog on it. I see it more as a resource or an outlet for my projects, and tend to use Twitter more for those condensed thoughts that I'm willing to share. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think.
All right.
Awesome. I would like to point out that Fredos from the chat says you got dragged in the community and we're all better off for it.
Something like that.
Yes. I was wondering, did you draw your avatar, or did you have a friend do that?
I I do. I don't draw myself. I'm terrible at it. So I had a very talented friend do it for me. A Brazilian girl called Edie Sifford, and she actually does commissions like this for a very reasonable price. But
Awesome.
yeah, she's extremely talented. She's done the intro for my videos and such as well.
All right. So let me see. So a girl from Denmark gets someone from Brazil to do her drawings.
Yeah.
We're in a LOTRO community, Pine Leaf.
Yeah, it's very
Much
international.
more common than you'd think.
Very
Yeah.
well. And what servers do you play on?
I play on Laurelin. That's my main server. I have a mini toon on Landrevel for event purposes. And then when I did the Extra Life 27 servers thing, or was it 29? I made a hobbit and or a dwarf on each server as well.
All right. Anyone have anything to ask her before we go into our game news?
I'd just like to thank her for the great job she does for the LOTRO community. She has a great site and does a great job.
Very well, and I am sure a link to her site will be in the show notes, right?
Most likely.
Very well.
Thank you.
Then we'll go into game news, and the first little bit of news has to do with the Founders Bounty statue and that it is completed. So, Atheros, what have you got to say about that?
Aside from the fact that this should have been posted about a week or so ago, from what I've been told, I think actually Whiteberry gave me the heads up on this. It was completed with the patch on the 10th, I believe it was, February. So
Yeah.
I was a bit behind in posting on this, but yeah, it's finally up after quite a long delay.
Actually, I believe the statue itself was up before then. It's just that the latest update added the players list to it.
Yep.
Because the physical statue doesn't seem to be changed from the version it was after 12.2.
Maybe I didn't look at it for a while, but
Ah.
Why didn't you write an article about it then? You noticed the change in statue and you never put it up on the site?
well, I'll be honest. Part of the reason I was motivated to write the article is because we didn't have anything else to talk about.
Well, yes, there is that little
And
bit.
it gave me the opportunity to take some screenshots. And I
Yeah,
haven't done that for a while, so.
It definitely is the quiet before the storm of update 13 right now.
Yes, either that or is a quiet due to storms because there have been a few of them going through Boston in the last
That's
last
true.
month. Now, the only other little piece of news seems to be from Whiteberry's news pick. So, Whiteberry, what's this all about?
I just spotted that the other day, Wednesday, Sapiens wrote on the forums that in response to someone asking what Kate Pace, is it Pace or Pice, secret surprise is, and he wrote, I quote, "No one has really hyped it or given hints. I've only said that I won't spoil Kate's surprise, and I don't believe anyone else has commented on it at all. All hype, wild speculation, and sometimes amusing predictions are all on you guys. Though I admit it's a ball watching it all." Quoting.
Yes.
So yeah, I just thought I found it more amusing than anything because it's it is of course technically correct when he says that the hype is all on us, but when someone tells you I have a secret surprise for you, then of course you will be hyped, and you know there's not a lot of other things in the letter. So of course there will be speculations and the hint about the classes making it possible that, and then, I just know from the housing experience last year that it sort of gets toned down sometimes, and you end up with players not getting what they hoped for.
Right.
So
Housing is even more mess now because they've kind of gone. They started off saying it's going to be huge, and they went pretty much from there saying it's going to be nah, don't get your hopes. And now they've gone back to the original thing of oh, you're going to be really happy with it.
yeah, I don't know if they started out with saying it would be huge, but they said that it would be a big part of the
Yeah.
2013. Yeah.
Right.
I would like to point out that Crow from the chat says, I'm really surprised the special surprise hasn't been linked yet. I wonder if it's a way down the development timeline. Did they say if it was supposed to be in update 13?
No, they
didn't
never said
specify a
that.
date.
That's a good
They
point.
said 2014.
And then Fredulous says, clearly we are not being creative enough in our wild speculation.
So, do you have your pet theory on what it is?
I think, if you're asking me, then I think that it's not a new class. I think it's something connected to classes, like expanding trait points or somehow linking them with the epic battles trait points, something like that. But I don't think it's a new class now.
Well, linking, I don't know, somehow that doesn't sound like anything to me. I thought it was something that people have been asking for or something like that. They wouldn't have been asking for that prior to class changes.
Yeah. It's interesting. I have no idea what it could be, and I don't think anyone does, so.
So no one so we'll just have to roll a 3,000 sided die to come up with a guess.
And we still
Yeah.
All right, we'll go into store sales, and yes, that's it. Yes, we're to store sales already. That's all there is in the news this week. For a limited time this weekend, we have 20% off on character slots, and I just bought as many as I could. Just in case I need to make more wardens.
You can never have enough wardens, right, Pilot?
Right. So now I have a full set of character slots. I don't know if anyone else has taken advantage of that, but that is until Sunday. So you'd only probably be hearing this if you're listening to it live or from YouTube soon afterwards. And our free sample of the week is Max Morale and Power Scrolls times 5.
I can barely contain my enthusiasm.
Yes. Yes. And the coupon code is BOOST3.
Don't apply the logic. Don't apply the
Yeah,
logic.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
He was thinking about it. He was trying to
You
get
see
that
the
logic
wheels
in there.
spinning.
Right.
Yeah.
We also have 25% off the following items: ingredients packs, crafting guild access, craft experience boost, rapid crafting boost, complete crafting tiers, and recipe books. In other words, everything to do with crafting, and Draculetta will tell you his opinion on these matters.
Do not buy anything. Do
Ever.
not.
Anything in
As-
those, don't buy it.
To save your turbine points.
Except
As
for
in-
those character slots that aren't in that list yet.
As inclined as I would be to agree, it's also not sales on legendary item stuff, so that's a plus for it in my book.
Other than, I will rephrase that, other than the crafting guild access, if you're a pure free-to-play or you're a premium and you want to get the better guild recipes for your crafting, you will have to buy that because you don't get those. Other than that,
Yeah.
do not waste your turbine points.
And if you're a cook, you probably don't need the crafting guild access anyway.
Then you need the rabbit crafting boosts.
Well, I don't know, because it seems like my cook gets through that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, back for a limited time, our instant level 50 gift items, a Gift of the Valor, for 49.95 turbine points. Yes, that is quite a cost. But you get the Gift of the Valor item, a set of level 50 gear, a one gold piece, a legendary XP room worth enough XP to bring your LI to level 10, 4 ranks of each virtue, the riding skill, a dusky nimblefoot goat, a 25 stack of food that scales with your level. That probably means Dale's crams. A 25 stack of morale and power potions that scale with your level. 5 plus 100% XP boost. A single-use map to Rivendell, and 25 mithril coins. And this is all to get you instantly up to level 50.
I think considering all the stuff that you get, it's actually a fairly good deal, I think. A lot of people think that, just point out that, oh, well, you get to level 50, it's not that big of a deal, and my goodness, that's really expensive, but considering the fact that you get a level 50 set of 50, a level 50 gear set, that alone is, worth probably around $20 in turbine points and Turbine's mind, so.
What do you mean? By the time you get up to level 60, it'll be completely obsolete.
That's true, but look at stuff like the Rift cosmetic gear. Like that stuff is.
I'd do it for the 1 gold piece.
Those 4 ranks in each virtue is actually quite a big thing. Considering you can go back to the old zones and do all that, you could get to the max rank in virtues a lot easier than someone who just did level the normal way.
It's true. Plus, you're not buying. I mean, theoretically, you're not. Assuming you're a new player, you're not buying all the quest packs along the way, so they have to justify that as well. So.
Yeah.
Very well. So, with the sales over, we'll now go into our LOTRO Players News, and our first story there has to do with a giveaway. Anding, you know anything about this?
No, I just wrote the article.
Then you're our default expert.
Oh, okay. Well, we are doing a giveaway on LOTROplayers.com right now. We're giving away the first 4 expansions to LOTRO. It is just 1 code, which is kind of sad for some people because they were wanting to give it to their friends. But you do get the first 4 expansions to LOTRO if you are the winner of this contest. And even if you have 3 of the expansions and just need 1, you're still able to enter, or if you want to give it to a friend if you have all the expansions, still feel free to enter. All you have to do is leave a comment on the article. It's really, really simple, just the same way most of our giveaways have worked, and try to win. There's been a lot of interest in it. There's already over 250 comments on it.
Or if you're like Miss to have 29 accounts or however many she has.
Oh, we've been through this. You know how many I have. I was just lucky you didn't ask about characters. So,
All right, very well.
Anyway, still better odds than Publishers Clearinghouse, so there you go.
We also have a new series here called the Community Events. And that is being handled by Lily Kate. Lily, what's this all about?
Hello. Well, this started because I was asked by the lovely people who run Ales and Tales if I would give their event some advertisement, because they move location each week and sometimes people don't know where they are, don't know to use the Ales and Tales channel on Landroval. So what started with an article just about Ales and Tales soon expanded into some other people asking me to include their events as well. So I decided that I would do a very simple format, Monday to Friday schedule, and put details of regular bands who play weekly, as well as like special bigger events like the steeplechases that we have, and the Shadowfax Sprint was today, hosted by Windy Acres Ranch, and other events and one-off events will be included so that just people know across servers what's going on. So yeah, last Monday we had Ales and Tales at the Eastern Bree Fields. I think they was playing tag. I'm not sure because I can't really be there because it's too late for me. This week they're going to be in Booklands, so I shall be announcing that in tomorrow. So regular bands, so we have bands like Animal House, we have Van June, the usual LMB stable of bands. We have Under Sunlit Sky, We have Die Master Baden von Brie over on the German servers, and French servers also have a good stable of bands as well. So it might be an idea if people want to go and see something different to roll up a new character and go and visit the band when they're playing. Might be something novel to do. Let's have a look at my notes, just checking. So yeah, we had the Shadowfax sprint today, and we had Kithlon who won that race actually on Idron. It's just terrible when you want to join in the race, but for some reason or another you miss out because time goes fast sometimes, and you do miss when these races are. So it's a good idea to just be able to have a quick glance calendar. And they do this over on LOTRO Artists, but I thought it would be a nice idea if we just have an article where you can just glance up and down, see what day of the week it is, see what's going on that week. So this Monday we have, again from Windy Acres Ranch and people at LMB, we have a Mardi Gras celebration. So we have a mounted parade from Brie to the horse fields. We have a riding team demonstration. Now these are really good. If you've not seen one of these horse demonstrations, it'd be a brilliant idea for you to go and see. They put a lot of work into organising these routines. And we have a horse parade, and there's a trivia contest, and we have 25 gold prize and 1,000 turbine points on offer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Lastly, and quite shamelessly, I'm going to plug my own event. Because I've been working quite hard for Fort Maestro, who began orchestra at the beginning of the year. But while he's off on tour in real life, I've been greeting new members, organising some arrangements, and setting up rehearsals. Tomorrow, Sunday, on the 23rd, at noon EST time, we are going to be at the metal stage on Landreval in the Shire, and we're going to be running some of our new arrangements through the pace. And if you want to come and have a sneak peek, see what a band of such numbers, I think we've got about maybe 16 showing up. Our ambition is to have a full raid orchestra with full sections.
Wow.
Playing large classical pieces. We'll be formally attired. We may not be formally attired at rehearsal because it's not compulsory unless I've asked you to dress up for a screenshot. So tomorrow, half of them might be formal attire, half of them might not be. And we're still looking for new members to come and join us to play classical music. We have just over 30 on our rosters, but of course not everybody can get to the rehearsals all at the same time. So we want to have a large roster of people so that we can possibly find that full raid worth of orchestra at whatever time slot we have.
Okay. And your rehearsals will normally be on Sundays at noon?
No, our rehearsals are at the moment, we flip fortnightly. We go from rehearsals at noon on the Sunday slot, and then the following fortnight we also play at 2 p.m. on the Saturday until one of them wins numbers. Whichever slot wins the numbers is going to be the slot that we stick with. But as I said, this is just rehearsal, so don't expect any performance because there won't be a full performance. In fact, expect the music to stop in the middle of the track because our arrangers are going to be asking for more or less of something, or it might be that we're just cutting the track short because we've heard it works and we've got plenty to get through. I would ask that while we're playing that you don't make a lot of noise because we are probably taking up all the tones that LOTRO allocate. So if you probably start cheering, you might cut off all our bases, so you won't be able to hear us. But please come along and hear us. I'm hoping that in March when we have a rehearsal, Pashbo is going to come and take some footage for us so that we can actually show people. On our debut, we were very raw. We were literally a week out of the idea. We hadn't rehearsed. We hadn't looked at our arrangements. This time it's bigger and better, and really, come along, have a listen. You will be surprised. People get very excited when they see what we do.
Amazing
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, this is a fantastic idea.
All right.
Yep.
I would like to point out that Mist XOX from the chat actually pointed out that it'd be a good idea if they let you buy only 10 levels at a time. I think she saved Love's financial future. But apparently she's not going to talk, so...
I am gonna talk. I'm trying to work out. Sorry. Yes, I think if they, instead of doing a full 50 levels at once, it would have been better if you could just buy 10 levels at a time and just do which 10 levels you want to skip over. And in my case, it's level 30 to 40 because they're long, boring, and yeah, can't do much. But that was the gist of the conversation.
That may change. Actually, 30 to 40, isn't that when you have Evendim?
Yep.
That's easy.
I may or may not have argued that, but
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I've just gone through Evandom on Emerald Daisy, and I mean, I've made Kindred by halfway through level 37. I can't go to Forakel, which is where I'd normally go, because I got to be level 39 minimum to get a quest up there. You know, now I'm just running around zones doing random quests just so I can level up.
having
Alright.
Troll Shores as an alternative to Evendim would help. Maybe the revamp will do that. We'll
Yeah.
have to see.
We can only hope.
Yeah, well, I started in the Troll Shores on Emerald Daisy because we were doing some research for the Academy, and then I went to help Kosha over in Evandom. You know, I'm done. I've made Kindred. I want to get out.
I want out!
Let me out. I am tired. And it's the same on Mr. Raya up in Rohan. You know, level 70 to 80. Yeah, that was just so long and boring. And I'm still in Rohan on level 80, and I just want to get out of there now. So, you know, it'd be good just to skip 10 levels here and there.
All right, that is Mystery's opinion on the matter.
Well, I've been in Rohan now for what, 8 months? It's time to get out.
Mystery's opinion may or may not reflect Pinely's opinion on the matter.
Right.
And,
We'll...
sorry, just before we move on, Pinely. Salo just put up that I could skirmish and one of my fellow hosts would skirmish with me. And yes, that's so true. I could skirmish. But one of my fellow hosts likes to go to lunch, so I'm not sure if I'd want
we're not
them.
going there. Nope.
Well, there's always epic battles. Just saying.
Oh, yes! And
Get Drac to run them with you.
Drac will go with
Well,
you on those, yeah.
Yeah, Drac and I did one of those yesterday, but I didn't even level. Like, I didn't get
don't
any
remind me.
XP. So,
I'm
I'm
trying to
not
block
sure.
that out of my memory, Myth.
Well,
But
you
now
know,
it's
if
been
you-
mentioned. Now it's been mentioned on 2 shows, so so much for
yeah.
that.
And you were lucky we didn't do the Academy this morning, because then it would have been 3 shows.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, poor Drac. Now we can head on to our next area on the LOTRO video highlights. And what's this about goat sanding?
Well, I assume Well, that would be terribly mean, but Pineleaf, you probably know Johnny Cash's "Goat Riders in Disguise." Ghost Riders in the Sky song.
Okay.
And this was a parody of that. And it was done by Selin Jern Productions, and they basically turned LOTRO into a really funny Western parody, and it's awesome. There's
It was
a
funny.
lot of digital work on the thing to make it work, and there's really funny moments in it. So I recommend everybody check it out.
Very well. And our next area is that we had episode 3 of LOTRO Players Adventures, where we ran through skirmishes and into Dol Dinin, and we sort of ripped that place apart.
We did. I'm pretty sure there was not an enemy left in that place. Not even like a hostile mouse was left in that city. It was all completely destroyed.
Until we started leaving.
Until we started
People
leaving.
respawned and killed everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Didn't Matthew die at one point?
Probably.
Oh,
I'm
you mean
sure he died.
when we were in...
When Pineleaf and I were defending him, and we've got overwhelmed, and everybody else was at the encounter and didn't get back in time.
Right, everybody went out during the encounter, and then the entire raid's worth of enemies
That's
stormed
right.
down, and we're left alone with Matthew, and of course, Matthew didn't
It
make
didn't
it through
end
there.
well, did it?
But we did do a replay, which I believe we won.
we were
And that's
very
what happens
successful.
when people don't stay next to Pineleaf in skirmishes. I think that is the moral of the story.
Yeah, but Pineleaf's only this really little hobbit, and how many people do you think could crowd next to him?
Infinite numbers, Mist. Infinite.
Only if we all stand on top of each other.
That's why they need to allow steeds inside of it, because if I'm on my war steed, then I will be able to be seen by everyone.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I was the same height, though, so...
Very well. Now, we had a little thing on Flowers of Arda, Lord of the Rings themed music. It was an article by Acacia. And so this is our newest piece. Did anyone have any comments on that?
Great song, as always.
I'm
need
always
to go and have a
amazed by
listen.
her work. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's fitting with our guest this week, I suppose.
Yes.
Acacia actually made the intro to my videos as well. A very nice little jingle to start my my videos off with. She's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's good that we have her, and that's one of the reasons why the Shades is such a popular band on Lorland and even on some other servers. No. Next, we went into music. Now we'll go into poetry. In this case,
Yay.
yes, we have a haiku that was written by Scuto and wrote an entire article for this. And the haiku went, "War rages across, burning fire in the east. The lily still grows."
Very
So
nice.
very nice. And Fredalis responded, let's see, "The snow falls deeper, and Ariel rises late, yet Tilion endures."
Well, awesome.
So a little poetry to keep us going, and Brax, while was not able to make it today, was able to send us off his pick of the week. And apparently it was by Ronnie at the Flaming Bard, and something about layoffs confusing.
I read this article. It's incredibly well written, I think, and pretty much sums up my my thoughts on the matter as well. I think it's definitely worth a read.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a read. It did a great job going through and talking about the situation and trying to make sense of the layoffs.
You mean other than pure corporate greed?
Ouch.
All right, then we'll. Anyone else have
Very
any
kindly,
comments?
but there's really no rebuttal to corporate greed. Like that's just the answer.
Very well. Then we will forget about corporate greed.
But that's the right answer. We can't forget about it.
Yes, I
Hard to
guess you got a
segue
point
out of
there.
this one, finally.
Yes. Well, that concludes our Lotro Players news
Wow, we did
for
it.
this week. So therefore, we'll head into the donations. And our further donations this week, there aren't any. But we would be happy with your support, and to help support Lotro Players, all you have to do is go to the donations page where you can help support the podcast on Lotro Players and also help support the site. We have $5 and $10 mentions where you can donate and get a mention on one or all of our active podcasts for an episode depending on the amount. For $5, you get a mention on the podcast of your choice, a podcast that we have at the site of your choice, and for $10 you get a mention on all of our active podcasts. And as for reviews, there are no reviews this week either. The reviewers and the donators have been quiet. But we do have a comment from Sue, who left a comment on episode 34. And he said, first of all, great word gobbledygook.
I hope that's a Blackadder reference, because if not, I'll be very disappointed.
Another great show. The chemistry really is starting to be refreshingly refreshing.
It's refreshingly refreshing.
Refreshingly.
Commented on my mishap.
Very well. Loot is great too, rather than loot. Tut tut, Mr. Velvet Warden. There are always lots of criticism for loot boxes, but I always enjoy opening them. You just never know. Of course, he has another poem.
You know,
Two
I didn't. Sorry, I'd
Yes?
just like to say I'd enjoy opening loot boxes more too if they actually dropped the same amount of keys as loot boxes.
On Loot Box Weekend, they actually were dropping quite a bit of keys. It was actually surprising. It was actually a key and Loot Box Weekend, it seemed.
Yes, well,
So you missed out, Mist.
yeah, I got about 20 loot boxes and no keys.
Yeah, it tends to happen to me too.
Well, I
I-
tend to get a little bit more balance on the matter.
I always tend to get I always tend to get more keys than loot boxes for some
And
reason.
get more keys.
So now we know who gets all the keys.
Yeah, remind me to set
Yeah.
up trade with.
Me.
Yeah.
Very well. Now our poem. In the headlights, Piney froze, his highlights glimmering, his body quivering. The highlights, he screamed. My highlights, he moaned. As the car raced forwards, spotlighted in center stage, Pineleaf produced a lute and started to play. Ending, Brax, Ethros, and Draculetta all pressed down hard on the accelerator.
This'll
Ha!
get him.
Ha! Loot indeed! Everyone loves loot, sang Pineleaf. Loot, played properly, highlighted in the headlights, Pineleaf bows. The car passes magically through pine leaves.
What in
A
the...
cloud of loot floating in the air. The car flies down the internet highway.
I think that is the most topical poem to our podcast that we've ever had in the history of poems. Thank you so much, Sue. That was just awesome.
I can't say I understood a word of it, but yes, it was good.
It was all in reference to our last episode, and it was great. Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Very well. We do have an email from Ali. And let's see. Mist, would you like to read it?
If I had it,
You're not
She's
reading the
only
show
one
notes.
not in the show notes.
Did you know how much of a hard time I had just trying to find the YouTube chat at the moment?
All right, I guess you get your point with that. How about Draculetta?
Korea. I'm sorry. Poor Mist.
I'm really having a hard time today.
Don't show sympathy. You're still in a feud.
That's true.
No,
Okay.
what feud?
On to
A
the
food
never mind.
Food
Ali says, "Greetings, Lotro players. What can I say? It feels great to be back and get back into the game. With not much end game content to do, I'm enjoying leveling my characters very much on both Brandywine and Landerball. It's awesome to find random people in remote parts of Middle Earth. Teaming up with them to do some quest makes the experience just amazing. I also started playing a spider in the moors. It's quite fun, and I reached rank 5 in just a week. I love the new Lotro Players Adventure Show. Hope to join you guys one of these weeks. I haven't written any new poem about Lotro, but I did write a story about my favorite character called Bagginses. He's a hobbit burglar. It's fairly long, so I don't expect you guys to read it on the show.
Or not.
Save it for someday when there's a shortage of news. Also, I'm including a link to my WordPress blog where I write about
Did you say
I don't know
bra?
what. I don't know why I'm on the show anymore. This is.
Tongues are slipping everywhere.
where I write about Lotro and all the other stuff. And we have included the links in the show notes to read the poem and his blog. You hush, Miss. You hush.
And he finishes.
With, as always, excellent podcast. Keep up the good work, Allie.
Very well.
You hush, Miss.
I'm
Don't need to hear from you.
saying it.
She's thinking it, but she's not saying it.
I liked it better when you ignored me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know, after a date, that's never going to happen again.
All right. You can
Oh, my.
contact. You can contact us at lotroplayers.mymiddleearth@gmail.com, and you can also follow us at Twitter. We are at LotroPlayers at LotroPlayers, Andang at PVMP_Andang, Raxwolf at Raxwolf, Draculetta at Draculetta_72, Etheros at Etheros, Lily Kate at Lily Kate Buggins, Mystery at Mystery XOX, and that's an I before the XOX, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, and you can also follow our guest, Whiteberry, at Tio Arda for Tales of Arda. Now, Barry, do you have any plugs you'd like to make?
Just a single one. I'm actually I have a list of like 25 Lotra and Humble Bundle codes that I'm going to give away when I reach 1,000 followers. I'm about 70 away from that, I think. So if any of you are on Twitter and want to follow and want to sort of try to get one of these codes, just do that, and it will, when I hit 1K, I will put it all in a big giveaway.
Awesome. And it says you have some Sid Meier codes. What kind of codes of those do you have?
It's one of them is for Civilization 5 only.
Oh, awesome.
And then I have one that has both Civilization 3 and 5, and it has pirates, Sid Meier's pirates, and 4 or 5 other Sid Meier things, railroads and stuff. And then I have one that I'm not quite sure about what contains, but it's still a Sid Meier bundle, so it has Civ 5 and Civ 3 at least, and then it has maybe pirates and railroads and stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So quite a list. Thank you very much. And I'm sure whoever gets them is also going to be very thankful.
Indeed.
Yes. You can join us live here at LOTRO Players Adventures. Goes live every Saturday at 5 p.m. server time. And LOTRO Players News goes live every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. server time. And that is United States Eastern Time. You can join us by going to lotroplayers.com/live. And please join us in the YouTube chat. Anyone have any closing thoughts? Very well then. Then that is all for tonight. Until next time, this is Pine Leaf Needles, and remember to skirmish responsibly.
Yo, Pine Leaf.
Have